Hello my design team and welcome to the Level Design Lobby. Hey guys and girls, welcome to the 4th episode of the Level Design Lobby. I hope you are playing and or making the games you love. This was the 4th one, and if you followed me before, then you're going to know a little bit about my opinions on this topic and the topic of today's podcast. And today's podcast, drumroll please, main menus in video games. So I did write a blog post about this. If you want to check it out, then just go to maxpairs.com/blogs. And you can see it's one of the ones there. So to give you a bit of, if you don't really know what I'm referring to as the main menu, it is the first thing that you see when the player opens the game. After you finish installing, you get the main menu where you choose to do new game, options, these sort of features. Now, I'm not going to bother going into any further details about main menus. You're a smart person. You're probably more than likely a gamer or a games creator. You know what it is. I'm just saying it's these bits. Not the pause menu or anything, just the opening menu. So yeah, to the topic really, let's just get straight into the heart of the conversation. So yeah, a lot of games, well, all games have this, but not a lot of games take advantage of this. Now, if you listen to episode 2, I mentioned and gave a shout out to Rhyme and their main menu design. I'm going to move on to that one further into the podcast. What do I mean when I say a lot of games don't take full advantage of this opportunity? Well, to me, what I mean is, go put in most games that you're playing now. Just pick one, put it on, and you'll see that the majority of games just have 9 times out of 10 a static image with just three buttons that you can press with an arrow that probably just fits the art style of the game. And it looks alright, it's cool, but how many main menus do you actually remember from a game? I'm probably going to assume that you said less than 5, if that, less than 3 maybe. Because, again, these aren't memorable moments, yet to me, that's a wasted opportunity. We as designers have missed a chance. Think about one of your best friends or even your partner. Think about you had a preconceived notion of them within the first 60 seconds. That's what happens. When we meet someone, we have our first impressions instantly. Because we judge someone on their looks, how they walk, how they talk, this sort of thing, because we instantly think we know who they are within that time frame and within a few seconds of observing them. It's the same thing with a game, and it's the same thing with a book or a film. Why do you think we have these big movie posters or the front of the book cover looks so enthralling? Because it's to get your attention. Yet when we put on a video game, it doesn't always set up attention-grabbing way. It doesn't draw us in all the time. It's like, okay, cool, you've probably seen some trailers, you've probably seen some review scores, and then you've already made up your mind. So this is why you're here in the game. But there are ways to take advantage of this and really use it. I know some of you are going to be saying, oh Max, I stuck in X game and it's not a static image. The camera is moving or the character's moving. Cool. Does the character do much other than that? Or does the background do much other than that? No. Probably not. If you look at Metal Gear Solid 5, Snake's sitting in the chopper, you press start and I think he stands up. That's it really. It's not the worst one, but I'm just saying, again, does that draw you in? So, it is a great opportunity. It's not always taken advantage of. Sorry if that came off aggressive or me trying to disrespect your favourite game. Not the case at all, guys. I'm just extremely passionate about this topic, and I want you guys to get passionate about it too, because I want an industry to progress and to move forward. And I'm hoping with this, with my blog post, with this talk here, and many more of you taking these ideas on board and pushing your own versions of it out there, that we can make something even better. Like I'm saying, there's a lot of missed opportunities there. So now let's break down opportunities for what we can use the main menu for. So before I move on to that though, I just want to say, like anything, how you use this is all dependent on your game. Now, The example I want to give on how main menu is used well and is used differently, first is through Final Fantasy 15. Now, you may have your opinions about it, but I really enjoyed it. I don't think it was the best Final Fantasy ever at all, but overall, still a really good game. I sunk over 50 hours into it. I do want to play the DLCs later on. So what it does, as I said, it firstly falls into the trap of just generally a static image. I think there's moving clouds. Overall, not too exciting. It's what it does at the end, though. So spoilers on this one. What it does at the end is at the beginning there is this logo of a character with the Final Fantasy 15 text. Once you complete the game, the logo changes. It changes so that the character on the logo is actually Luna, the woman, your character's bride to be, and it shows her because she's at the beginning she's resting on the F. I don't know why I'm making that gestures out to you guys when you can't see me, but once you complete the game, you see her resting on the leg of your character, the main character, and at the end of Final Fantasy, it shows the two characters together as the final image, which boom, again has changed that main menu into something interesting. Because when you come back to it to do like New Game Plus or to do the DLCs, it has the new image in there. So that's really clever, and it works to the game because it's about you. Well, part of the game is about your character going off to marry Luna, and like I said, it's a bit spoilery here. For reasons that doesn't come to fruition. But here it's a nice thing of like, I guess it's up to interpretation, but to the afterlife where they come together, and even though you didn't see that happy ending through the main game, you get to see it afterwards. And I think that's really, again, it really works well with their idea of, as I said, part of the main quest is to go marry Luna, and even though you didn't do it in the game, it works because it ties in with the game and you get to see that. And man, it made me feel a bit emotional. So always make sure that it works for the overall case and the overall benefit of your game. Now that's one example of how games use main menus. Another example of starting the game with a bang, there's two examples I have: Dragon Age Inquisition and the first Infamous. So these are very action-packed games, action-heavy. They focus on your character and some of your party characters going through and kicking ass and taking names. And what they do to start this epic journey, because they're both epic journey, one's a superhero and one's like a Tolkien fantasy. So what they do to start these games with the main menu is they start with a literal bang. So I'll set you up for both. In Dragon Age, they have this amazing layout. You see two factions walking towards this building, and if you're well known with the Dragon Age lore, it's Templar and the Mages, sorry. And these two factions do not get on. The last two games you've seen the tension rise higher and higher and break down. Yet you see these two in large numbers just moving through this space, which again makes you think, well, what's going on here if you know the lore? And then you have, it's framed really well, this building in the background, which, because of the way that all the characters are moving, it draws your eye into this building. And as soon as you hit new game, that building just explodes, knocking everyone off, and you see a shield fly towards the camera. Boom. You've instantly got the player hooked. Something's kicked off. Something amazing has just happened, and it's the start of something new and exciting. Then we've got Infamous, and where it's an open world superhero game, and the city, the open world, is a character in itself. So you just see the city moving along, people walking, just looks like a normal day, normal day life, just like we have in our everyday, just people walking around the town. And then when you hit new game, again, bang, explosion, and then you wake up in the middle of that explosion. Again, they've set the scene so perfectly, all with the main menu. As soon as you do that, you are instantly hooked. And again, this works for their type of game. It's about action, it's about adventure, it's about these cool, fantastic, amazing moments. And they start it off like that. Final Fantasy 15 also has action and is about big adventure, but it's more tied to the emotion and how you finally achieve that goal at the end credits, despite it not being through the main game. Well, these two are trying to show the action and the adventure. So again, these are different examples. So really think what your game is saying. I know when people are creating their games and they have this static image in there, they have in mind what this image is trying to portray. But remember, games are living. They are breathing. We want the player to not feel they're in a game. We want them to feel like they're in a world truly immersed in there. So a static image doesn't show that. It doesn't make you feel like you're in something fantastic. I know, I don't mean that in a disrespectful way to art or anything. I'm just saying, when you look at our medium, we are so much more than just an image. We're about sound as well, interactivity, and a static image doesn't give you that. Now I'm going to move on to my next example, which is the video game Rime. And like I previously mentioned in episode 2, I gave a quick shout out to this, but now I want to break this down in further detail. So, within Rime, in case you didn't hear what I said about it in episode 2, to recap, in Rime you venture through 4 different environments, from desert, beach, jungle, to this torrential downpour ruined temple. And the main menu reflects your progress. So when you start the game, it's just a nice view of the island with the beach, which is the first area. And then as you get to each stage, the main menu changes. So when you're in the desert one, you have to worry about this massive bird-like creature who is constantly trying to attack you. And in the main menu, you see that bird creature, it lands, flies away, and then lands again. And this is fantastic because it makes you excited. You visually see and hear the progress you've seen on the opening screen. Not even just, I remember where I am. That is an instant reminder. Quickly, you are drawn in and you're like, oh yeah, that's where I am. I need to keep going, because you've seen your progress already, which just entices the player to come back and keep moving forward. And again, it's not a hard technique, but they used it to the fullest and truly nailed this down. Honestly, like I said, none of these, should I say, are difficult to pull off in terms of scripting, technical difficulties, but they've all been used in such a great way to help the design that it just has such a big impact on the overall game themselves, And it's fantastic that there's designers out there taking the time to do this. Now, these actually ended up influencing my game that I'm working on called Chess Quest, which is a mobile runner. And at the beginning, you've got a little scene where you have the chest surrounded by gems, which is your goal and objective of the game. So players instantly see what they're trying to get. And in the game, you encounter this dragon who chases you across levels. And as soon as you press the start button, the camera flies and growls as it goes through this tunnel in the background, setting you up for thinking, oh, what's that? And again, I was doing it with playtests because I didn't originally have this. And when I added it, no one mentioned it, but you can see them smiling, smirking out the corner of their mouths because they just found it super cool. And then what I did to take it to another level, because players can select the levels, as you go into the difficult and harder levels, the growl that is played changes. So it's a soft murmur. I was going to growl then, but that would have just been weird. A soft murmur to an extreme roar. And again, it's just teaching the player subconsciously that this is harder and also exciting them for what's next. So now that I've given these examples here, let's just go through them one more time and how they're used, and just reiterate on the points I made. So in Final Fantasy 15, they use their main menu to have an emotional impact, to tie the loose ends of the story together. As we know, like I said, Noctis, the player's character, is on his way to marry Luna de Frey. Sadly, that doesn't happen in the game. But, okay, massive spoiler here, so you may want to skip about, let's just say 30 seconds to be safe to a minute. Noctis dies, and so does Luna Defray. And at the end, you see them both meet each other in heaven, the afterlife, the next life, whatever you personally believe in. And together, they're going through the photos that you took in the game. You see them do this, and then it has the big impact of changing the main menu to show the character was not alone because they came together in the end. Like, the main menu is the afterlife. It's the start, like the birth, and then it's the end with the rebirth and the death with the main menu, creating that emotion within, well, just for the players. Like I said, I got shook up by it, and I thought it was fantastic. Next, we have the excitement factor, the instant action that draws the players in. If you're making something cool, let me rephrase that. If you're making something that is a combat and a big action game, and you want it to start with excitement, then you add that extra layer of interactivity with it. When you hit the button, boom, the menu changes. You have just made an impact on that game, on that world. You know, it's not just you flicking through something. You've now made an impact on that world just by pressing a button, which again, adding cool particle effects, the Michael Bay effect, just creates that emotion of, wow, I want to be in here, I need to get going, and it just starts the player off with a bang. Next one is with Rhyme, which is showing progression, constantly moving through and reflecting the player's progress within the main menus. Again, super nice, super subtle, well, not subtle, but a small detail which just works to its utmost effect with this. And then we have my example where I'm using the sound and the movement to reflect the difficulty of the levels, as well as foreshadowing a future enemy within. So those are those examples there. I want to say the reason why also I came to revisit this topic is if you look at my blog post, I was really chatting that every game should start with a bang. Everyone should be like boo, 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 explosion, explosion, and that high pace, that high energy. But now after playing Final Fantasy and seeing Rhyme, there's so many other ways we can use the main menu to help further our games. And that's what I want to leave here with you guys. So as you're designing your opening menu and looking over it, just take a step back and think, how can this benefit me? How can this opportunity benefit my game? You know, and really take the time to consider that. Please just don't fall back on a static image with some nice music. Because at the end of the day, that can cover things up, but it doesn't excite the player or really engage them. So yeah, guys, that's my thoughts, and thank you for listening to the 4th episode of Level Design Lobby. If you want to talk more to me about this, give me more examples, then please tweet me at MaxPairs. If you want to see more of my work and see the updates on Chess Quest, then please go to maxpairs.com. And to really help me and to let me know that I'm onto a good thing and that you're enjoying what I'm doing, then please subscribe, guys, and share with people. You know, let them know what we're doing, because like I said, I want to build a community and help everyone grow. So again, thank you for joining me. It's been awesome as always. I look forward to the next episode. Take it easy, guys, and I'll see you later.